Welcome back to this episode of PB Aquatics. In this episode, we're going to start a little mini series and we're going to reconstruct this 125 behind me. We're going to do the aquascaping, we're going to do some hardscaping, then we're going to put some fish in. Right now, it doesn't have much when it comes to inhabitants. All I have is like a wood catfish, 2 pluggos, and a crawfish. The crawfish, unfortunately, will have to come out because it likes to eat my plants. So I'm going to take him out, put him in a separate tank when this is all over with, and then maybe we'll grab a couple more and start a little breeding project with them. We'll see how that goes. So for right now, let's take a look at what we got, and I'm going to show you what's in this tank now, how it looks now, and then we're going to reconstruct. Right now we got this piece of driftwood. If you look real carefully, right in this area, there's a little plucko. You'll see him when I get them out. I threw these plants in a long time ago and just let them float there, and I had goldfish in here and they had a field day with them, but they seem to be bouncing back pretty good, so I'm going to reuse those too. Over here you can see better that plucko. I have 2 of those. On this side you'll be able to see the catfish that I have. He pretty much hangs out right there, so we're going to have to keep that in mind when we reconstruct this tank. We're going to take those pipes out and we're going to cover the holes up with some new glass. There's the crawfish. There she is. There's Sheila. The heaters in the back don't work, so we're going to have to get rid of those. But these fish are doing good. I keep my house in the mid 70s, so the water's good. So let me show you what we got here. So this is what we're working with for new scape material. Another bag of pool filter sand, because I don't have enough substrate in there to put anything in the substrate. I have these rocks right here. Picked them up at Home Depot. They're made of cement, so I sprayed them with a clear coat so they don't mess with the pH in the water. I have these, a bag of these stones here, and I picked up these plants yesterday. I'm gonna throw you back to the store where I picked these up. I'm not exactly sure what the name of them are because I forgot. They don't look like much, but they're real propagate. Got my zip ties, I got my buckets ready, I got my pump because I need to drain the whole entire tank. So let's get started by catching these guys up. All right, so I'm gonna start taking the lids off of this thing. I'm gonna drain some of this water into this little 20-gallon I got down here, and that's where we're gonna house everybody until the 125 is ready. First thing we're gonna do is start draining the tank into here, and then I'll drain it into the sink and get rid of all the water, and we'll go from there. One of the good things is that I always have sponge filters in other tanks that are collecting bacteria and stuff, so once I fill this up, I can throw a sponge filter in there from another tank, and I also have a sponge that's been inside this 125 for over a year or so, so it's going to have the bacteria and stuff to keep them going until I get done with this tank. It'll be a few days. Okay, we'll have to keep her like that for right now. Hopefully the crawfish doesn't climb out. I'm gonna come back to you guys when I empty the tank. Well, this is where I'm at now. I got those 2 overflows off, and let me tell you, it was not easy. I had to cut one, where's the camera? I had to cut one and cut it real carefully. But for right now, I'm just gonna clean around those holes, get all the silicone and stuff off. Clean it off real good, and then put another piece of glass on top with silicone to cover those holes. And I've got that first piece of glass silicone, and I got a 50-pound bag of sand on top of it to keep it weighted down. He's got these little cutters, glass cutters you get from Home Depot, and they cut like 1/4-inch glass. You don't need much. I'm going to finish cleaning this side and getting those overflows out and getting it prepped and ready for glass. So welcome back to day 2. In this part, we're gonna use the old sand as the bottom substrate, and we're gonna put it real heavily to the one side where the plants are gonna go, because that's where all the nutrients are in that old sand. It's been in that tank for 4 or 5 years already. I only plan on painting just the back. I'm not going to paint the sides. I don't want to put the tank back in this position just yet because I might have to do a second coat. Now you're probably thinking, pool filter sand has no nutrients whatsoever. It's okay. That's okay because these root tabs come 10 in the pack. Should be more than enough. So I'm going to end up using all 10 root tabs. There we go. I'm just going to do a little something like that. Maybe put this rock right here. A cool ass piece of wood. Now I bought these guys, 2 of them, specifically for this piece of wood. As you can see, it's made of like plaster or cement or something. I did spray these with a clear coat on them so it doesn't leach nothing out into the water. Now let's get some of these plants in here. I've never done plants before ever, so I just want you guys to remember this. I've never done plants. I'd imagine you just put the roots in the sand. They ain't got nowhere else to go, right? But in the sand. I got quite lucky with these plants that I bought from Fantasia because no snails. These plants I got from Wild Cargo. I don't know what this stuff is called. I call them green plants. From Home Depot, I also bought some of these little like shiny stones. What do they call them? Beach pebbles is what they call it, beach pebble. I bought a bag of them. I'm gonna see how it looks with these in there. None of this looks natural, but hopefully it looks decent. So here we are, a little more than halfway full, 0 leaks. It's completely dry, no drips, no nothing. And I kind of like it. I don't know, when I added water, it just changed the way everything looked. All the plants are still trying to stand up. I'm sure they'll stand up more once I put the light on top. I got the canister filter running now. I like it. I like it a lot. One of the issues I had before is that I couldn't fill this tank all the way up because it used to have an overflow system. And I used to use Ron's tank as a sump. I eliminated that because it made too much noise. I didn't like the noise. And I needed Ron's tank for Ron. So now I was able to get rid of all the plumbing because I had stuff hanging down and stuff. And now I'm able to fill this tank all the way up the way I want. And I won't hear the return from the canister returning water. For that, I sit on my couch for 3 seconds and I am passed out due to that noise. It puts me to sleep so fast. So I like the way it's coming out. I'm very happy. Let me know what you think. I still gotta clean it, clean the front glass and stuff. I like the background painted black, everything. I think it's just came out amazing for my first planter tank. Exactly what I wanted. All right, see you when it's full.